Scroll further down and you should see an authorization rule. Allow roles equals CHS EasyLink. Change this to the your establishment's EasyLink group. This basically limits the users that can get into the website who have had their EasyLink privileges revoked. If you want to allow, well, it's basically best that you leave it as that. If you want to allow everybody, delete the deny users equals star. Sorry, change deny to allow below and delete this line. Below this, you've got custom errors. If you know specific error codes that you want to display custom error page for, change this to custom, and you should find on Google plenty of documentation for custom error messages in ASP.NET. Below this, you've got the membership provider. This you will need to change as well. Scroll along right to the end and you should see connection username and connection password. Change this to be your administrator's username and password, or the user that you've given delegate access to. Further down you should see another connection username and password. This is the role provider. Give it the exact same one as the membership provider. That's all you need to change in the web.config. Once you've finished doing all your edits, save it and away you will go. Once you've done that, you have pretty much done your Extranet application. One thing you will need to do, however, is right click on the Extranet folder, go properties, and confirm that under security that the network service user account has modify access. You might also need to issue the IIS WPG group with the same modify access. Into IIS now, click on RM and right click and create a new virtual directory. Actually, no, you don't need to do that. Right click on Extranet, which you should see there. Click Properties. Once the Properties box comes up, click Create in the directory box. This will basically turn it into a virtual directory. Change the application pool to be the Extranet application pool. Enable script source access. Log visits and index this resource. Under Documents, add a new document, default document, and call it default.aspx and move it up above default.asp. Under Directory Security, click on Edit and disable anonymous access. Enable basic authentication, say yes to that, and select the default domain as your main domain. Same for realm. Click OK. If you now go back to directory and click on configuration, you should see in here certain .x files that use the .NET framework. If you do not, search online for how to install ASP.NET into IIS6. There should be plenty of documentation out there. It's basically running ASP.NET reg IIS-I. What you'll now need to do is under application setting, you'll need to click OK on that, and you'll need to click OK again. You'll now need to right click on the RM application, click Properties. You'll then need to go into home? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I go to add this. Right. Back into the Extranet application, you need to go to Properties. You'll need to then go into HTTP headers, click on MIMI types. You'll now need to add a new MIMI type. The extension is .zap, and the application is Silverlight. me just check that's right. No, there we go. X-Silverlight-app. So you need to call it X-Silverlight-app. Click OK, and that's basically added a MIMI type so that the web server knows what to do with that file format. That's pretty much it on how to configure Extranet, how to configure the Extranet. Well, you'll also, if you want to use forms authentication, there's one other bit of web.config file you'll need to edit. You need to turn identity impersonate off, set that to false, set authentication to Windows. You'll then need to right click on Extranet, go into properties. You'll need to go into directory security, edit, enable anonymous access, disable basic authentication, OK. Into the application pool, right click on Extranet, click properties, click on identity, configurable, and set this to be the administrator's account for the domain, or somebody that has sufficient permissions to edit users, edit any user's home directory or the shared areas. Click OK, OK again, and that's you configured for Forms authentication instead of Windows authentication. And that's how to configure the extranet. I hope you enjoyed this podcast.